Hey guys, happy Friday. Happy Moon Magic Day. Tonight is the full moon in Leo, and it's also a partial eclipse. They call it a penumbral eclipse, I think. That's probably pronounced wrong, but it's just a partial eclipse. It's not a full one. But it is still been a really powerful one. I don't know if anyone's noticed the energy this week. I've been feeling just like the intensity behind it and really being directed back onto my path. Not that I feel like I'm being brought to a new path, but just being pushed to further commit to my path, to continue to say yes to my path when it gets hard. And like this week, it's been really hard. And I don't know, like I would love to hear how you're feeling, how you're experiencing the energy right now. I did share a video from Tanaz from Forever Conscious. Like I love her energy videos, and she talks about it better than I can. So go and watch that clip. I'll post it in the comments after this too for anyone who's interested and missed that post. But what I really want to talk about today is like living your life intentionally. And so what that means is like living on purpose. So often we're like on autopilot. We are just letting life happen to us, and we are kind of like in the passenger seat, like wondering, what the fuck, like why is all this happening? How am I going to deal with this? And like we're really just living in the results of what happens when we're on autopilot. We're living in the reactivity of our emotions. We're living in the anxiety and the fear around the future, the stress. We're really not living in the present moment. We are not in control in that moment. And I mean control like in a healthy way, like in the healthy control, not like in the control freak kind of way, which I've struggled with that. So I feel you if you're a fellow control freak. So it's really about, mindfulness, energy awareness, being present, but also like knowing that there's something available in every single interaction, in every single moment of your day. And especially like anytime you're putting energy out there, when you're investing your time into something, when you're investing your money into something, when you're investing your heart and your emotions into something, there's always a return available. There's always an equal energy exchange there. It's just a matter of like, if you're gonna see the signs and like follow and if like you're gonna choose your route. It's like the difference between being a passenger and having this like phantom driving your car versus you being in the driver's seat and you're seeing the signs, you're processing all of the information, you know which exits are coming up, you have a general idea of where you are and where you're going and what's around you. And so then you can make decisions to get where you're trying to go. It's just like that with life, like with our energy. It's really a matter of remembering that you create your experience, that we are co-creators here with the divine in this life, that we're not just victims of it and we're not being jerked around by it. We're only jerked around when we're like I picture it as like being in a current, like you're in this current of your emotions and you're just like head down, hiding your eyes, and you're just like wondering when the current's going to stop. But through my work and through what I do and through living intentionally, that's when you take your hands off your head and you like get really super brave and put your feet down and stand up and look around and find a way out of that current. Like you could stand up and realize it's only knee deep, but you had no idea because you were in the fetal position just being rocked by it. And then as soon as you sit up and look around, you're like, oh, I can just take a couple steps this way. And like I'll be in this really gentle space where I can sit in the sun and sort of dry out and then continue on a new path that feels better for me and that's going to get me to where I'm going instead of staying stuck in this little whirlpool of my emotions. And so that's really, I wanted to talk about that because we do have Moon Magic coming up. And so that's tonight at 7. And we're always so worried about like what we want to bring into our life, and I mean, I talk about that more than anything because it's important to know where you're going, to know where you want to go, to know what you want and to call it in. But we're always like trying to pull in all this stuff into our lives, and we're putting all of this energy and all this work into pulling it in, that we're not available to receive any of it because we're worried about the next thing that we're going to pull in, or we're too busy working. It's like the hostess in the relationship reading I did yesterday. You know, if you're at your party and you're running around worried about making sure it's perfect, you're not going to get to sit and enjoy any of it, and you're not going to fully receive that party, you know? And so that's kind of like life. And so I love, like, I do this energy work monthly on the full moon because it's the time for release. It's a time for clarity where, like, as it works from a new moon to a full moon, the moon is being illuminated more and more until it's in its fullest illumination. So, like, things are clear, illusions may come up, like things that you thought were one way, you can see differently now. There's, like, a lot of clarity with the intensity of the full moon. It really shines a light on some shadowy stuff, so it may be uncomfortable, but you're really in such a powerful position at this time energetically, because you can see your shadow, you can see your gifts, and you can choose what you're ready to let go of. So at the new moon, that's when we set intentions for what we want to pull in, and at the full moon is when we set intentions for what we want to release. And I find that that is one of the most powerful steps, is being able to release the stuff that isn't serving you, and to release your attachment to the things you want, and to release your doing, even if it's just for 30 minutes tonight on this live call, that you just let everything fall out of your hands and take 30 minutes to just ground and center and open up, so that, like, spirit has a place to send all of these things you're wanting. Like, I had used the metaphor of a mailbox in another video I did, and it's like, if God wants to send you something, you know, the universe wants to send these things that you're asking for, but your energy is so scattered around and focused in all these different areas, there's nowhere to send it. So when you do get grounded and open up and pull your energy back and release the things that are blocking you from receiving it, then you can receive it with so much more, like, ease, and you can really enjoy it and appreciate it when it does come, because you're available to it. And so I would love for us to take some time today, setting some intentions, come share in the group, like maybe take a few minutes to just close your eyes and take some deep breaths and really sit with your shadowy stuff that's been coming up this week, really sit with your full self, and then ask yourself what you're ready to let go of, you know, and just see what comes up. And then come share in the group with us, because once you physically write it down, or once you, like, speak it out loud, it's like an activation of that release is already starting to happen. You're already starting to release it by bringing it into physical form, by, like, just typing it into the comments, you know. So that can be super powerful, just coming and sharing that. And then also, it does bring up some stuff, like, I wanted to share a little bit about what I'm going through right now with this. I'm just constantly being reminded of the power of intention. So I have this opportunity, a huge opportunity, to have my bath bombs featured in a luxury bridal magazine, like a huge deal. This is like a luxury bridal magazine based out of Houston that has a huge audience base. I think they have like 90,000 likes on their Facebook page. And they found me and asked me, like, to put my bath bombs in their grab bags for this amazing event that they do that's coming up in, like, I have like a week to make 200 bath bombs. And I was just, at first I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, it's all happening, like, finally. And then I, like, shut down big time. I was like, whoa, I'm not ready for this. Who am I to have all of this attention on my product? Like, I'm not going to be able to keep up with this. Like, just enter all of the ego stuff, all of the fear stuff, all of the reasons why I can't. And at the time, I'm thinking they're buying my bath bombs for these grab bags, right? And so, I mean, at like a wholesale price, but I still am assuming that I'm going to be making physical money from this process. And I kind of embarrassed myself on the call. I was like, okay, so should I just send an invoice to you? And she's like, what would the invoice be for? And I was like, oh, this is for free. Like, I have to give them these bombs for free. And I had a moment of, like, just like, I can't do that. Like, that's $1,000 worth of product. I can't do that, you know, and I panicked. And then I sat with it after on the phone. And I was like, okay, it's not $1,000 of cost of product. Like, let me look at how I can adjust this and make this happen, make this doable, because I still was feeling a yes in my body. My body was still telling me, like, actually, like, this, you're asking people to say yes right now to something big, right? Like with my online class, I'm asking people to step up and say yes to their souls and to take that big scary jump and like leap onto their path. And all right at the time of this big eclipse, and all at the same time that I'm being asked to do this too in my business. And so I stopped and kind of like remembered, and I'm like started to walk my talk a bit and remembered, like, okay, it's really not about giving bath bombs away for free. It's about the fact that there is an opportunity here. So if I am willing to donate to put out $1,000 worth of product, I'm available. Like, there is so much available in return for that. Like, yes, it's putting a lot of me out there. I have a week to make 200 free bath bombs. Like, that kind of makes me want to die a little bit. But in exchange, I'm going to be featured in their magazine. I'm going to be featured on their blog. I'm going to be featured on all of their social media sites. Plus, my product will be going to 200 of like the wealthiest, most fabulous people in Houston. And so like that is a huge opportunity. But beyond that, like, so to them, that is their equal energy exchange, right? That is what I get in exchange for offering my products. So there's a deeper layer to it though. Like, yes, that is equal exchange. Like, that makes sense. But I'm also required to take this like gutsy leap of faith that this exposure will do good things for my business, that it will bring me where I'm supposed to go. So there's that surface layer of the financial investment. And then there's that added layer, which is evened out. You know, they equal that out with what they're offering me. But then there's that deeper layer of like, what am I getting in return for jumping off of this cliff? Like, am I ready for my business to explode like this? You know, because I am still working from home with a toddler, you know, running my energy business and this business. So it's scary. There's a lot of fear that comes up. There's a lot of stuff that's coming up around it. And now I know the only thing that I need to do is decide what I want in exchange for making that leap. And it's going to be something big because it's a big, terrifying leap. So I am really taking the time now before our Moon Magic call tonight, because that's where I'm really going to activate my exchange, and you have the opportunity to do the same tonight on the call. But I will be spending today just getting super grounded in what I want and living super intentionally and really deciding, what do I want in exchange for taking this huge effing leap, this scary step to bring my business further. And then I know I'm going to get it because I've done it before. I signed up to work with Lindsay, my mentor, for 4 months after doing Reiki 1 and Reiki 2 with her. And so I knew she was amazing. I knew like she had so much to offer me. But financially, like, I think I had made like $700 across 4 months of being in business. Like, I didn't have money to invest in a 4-month program. And so that was really scary. Like, I had to go and ask Zach after being separated for a year, you know, like, hey, will you invest in this with me? And there was so much around that. So much came up for healing around money stuff. And that was very enlightening for me. But, like, I decided. So it was a big deal. Like, I had to suck up my pride and ask Zach for this money. And then I had to really commit. Like, it was scary that knowing that, like, not only did I need to put this energy into it, but I needed to put me into this, and that, like, this was requiring something of me because it was going to transform and shift and change me in some way. And, you know, I was scared. There was so much coming up. And so she actually did a little bonus meditation about just asking in a relationship. Yes, asking for anything in a relationship. I think asking with every sort of relationship can be hard, you know? That's a really good point. It's scary to just ask what you want. I totally relate to that. That's something I'm still working through, but I'm getting there. This house here is teaching me a lot around that. But, yeah, when you can take that leap. And so I sat down and Lindsay led us through this bonus, like before we got started, we had this course on setting our intentions. And so I set these intentions that just felt wild to me. They did not feel like, it felt like dreaming, you know. One of them was that I wanted 4 times what I invested in the program. I wanted to make 4 times the amount of money that went into it. And I did. I made exactly 4 times that amount of money in that period of time. That's when I created my bath bomb business. I didn't even have a bath bomb business when I started this program. And I didn't have an internet. I didn't have a Facebook group. Like, I didn't have all of you ladies yet. And that was one of my things, was I wanted a community. I wanted some like-minded women to share this path with. And I wanted to be able to bring women together in a really powerful way. And I feel like that's what we're doing here. And that was one of my other intentions. And then the other one was that, like, I wanted a platform in my community. I wanted to start getting visible and getting this message and this work visible, because to me it feels so important. And that is when I manifested. I went and I spoke at the college at UL for a class and led them through a meditation. And the feedback I got from some of the girls in that class just cracked my heart wide open, because like they were me when I was in college, and knowing that I was able to give them what that random yoga video I watched in college gave me was just super powerful. And I wanted healing in my relationship. And so a lot of shit went down in my relationship during that time. But I knew I was asking for it. So every time like things would get chaotic and they would get bad, I knew, okay, this is the opportunity for healing that I claimed, that I said I want. Like, I can't be upset that things are hard now, because they're hard now so that they can be amazing later, and so that I can open my heart a little bit more and experience more love in my life. And so that was just super powerful. That was really my first experience with sitting down and setting a specific intention for like what I wanted to receive in exchange for my time, my energy, my emotions, my money. And I got it all. And it really just kind of blows me away that I got every single thing on that list. And since then, I've been getting more and more intentional around, the full moon, and claiming what I want to release and claiming what I want to bring in on the new moon. And I went and looked back at some of my intentions from like a few months ago. And like, I've already gotten like 90% of the things on there. I'm like, how is this happening? Like, when I look back from a year ago, my new moon intentions from like, I think a year ago, last spring, it felt like a world away. It did not feel like I could ever be that person. And actually, like, the words I use to describe what I want, those are the words I use and other people have used to describe me. And it kind of blows me away at what's possible when you just claim it and say, I have total trust that this is going to happen. And I don't know how, and I'm terrified, but I'm doing it because my soul is telling me to do this. Like, making bath bombs, I'd never made a bath bomb in my life. I had never done a farmer's market. I had never created a product. I'd never sold a product. But I knew I needed to. And so I followed that and I did it. And now, like, my business is about to explode with this magazine finding me and picking me and saying, like, we choose you and your product. Like, what? 4 months after I created this business, there's just so much magic available. Like, if there's anything anyone gets from this, this is not just through my class. This is not just through working with me. This is just life. There is so much magic available in life. And I never thought I would believe that. Like, if you had told me 2 years ago that I'd be preaching magic and like amazingness and abundance and love, like, I probably would have rolled my eyes at you and like, okay, crazy, and kept walking, because that never felt possible for me. And so just knowing that this is something I can offer people, that like I can share a little bit of my path to this, and my journey through this has goosebumps. I know I'm trying not to cry. Like, I'm really, I am about to do my first tears on a live stream, because it really is, I'm going to start crying. I can't. I just ugly cried about this for like 4 days with my sister, about how much your life can totally shift and change, that there is so much possible and available that you just don't even know. Like, you have no idea how amazing you are and what is available for you. And if you want to find that out, if you want to start your journey to that, if you want to experience a little bit of that, maybe cry on your own live feed in a year, please message me. I would love to chat with you about any of my services and anything I can do to help you on that path, even if it's just a free 30-minute call to sit and read your energy and figure out what you need. I just would love to connect with you. So that took an emotional turn. I'll blame the full moon. And I am sending you guys so much love today, and I am really looking forward to Moon Magic tonight. It is at 7 Central Time. So hop on live with me. I will post the link in the group after this video, and then I'll also post a link to the course, because the cart closes tomorrow. So if you want in, now is the time. Sending you lots of love.